Hi, this is Craig Lane with the video blog week 25. We're going to talk about contingency plans, which we just started last week on the part 2 of Free Radicals. Craig Lane with Health Alchemy, HealthAlchemy. Today we're going to just talk about some other things to be prepared for, like I'll contextualize today's talk. So a lot of people come to me at the last minute like, oh my god, I'm sick, I got the flu, oh my god, I hurt myself, and oh my god, I got a drippy nose, and oh my god, I got a head cold. And I tell them, have a medicine cabinet at home. Have things on hand that you can reach for immediately. So when you feel a head cold coming on or a flu coming on, that you're prepared and ready to go. And you don't have to go out to the store and be rushing around while you're not feeling well or while your kids aren't feeling well. So let's start at the bottom of the age group. So for kids, a really nice herb to have around is lemon balm. One of my favorites because it's gentle. It's great for fevers. You don't want to suppress a fever, especially in a child, unless it's life-threatening. You want to let that run its course. And again, we don't want to be listening to the government about this sort of information. Fever is a natural way of burning out toxins, DNA of viruses and things. So if the fever is depleting us, then we need to look at like why it's depleting us and take action there. So you want to have good food sources of vitamin C on hand, also for kids. Acerola cherry, rosehip tea, maybe even some frozen juice and ice cubes, of berries and things. Orange juice to me is not a good thing to give to a kid when they're starting to get sick because it's very mucus forming. So I'd be careful with the orange juice. Go with other forms of fruit. You want to really freak a kid out and they start to get sick, give them a little diluted potato juice, like potatoes, celery, carrot, or something. Then you really get a good load of vitamin C in that, and then you get a great little potassium load there too. So another thing to have on hand for young kids is calcium lactate. Ionized calcium is a great thing to have, giving them small doses of that regularly. You might have a little bit of echinacea drops of a nice echinacea tincture. I prefer MediHerb brand because they are clinically proven to have enough of the active ingredients. Traditional medicinals has some great teas for kids. Again, that's traditional medicinals have a slew of some of their, I think they have a throat coat and they have all kinds of a kids line. You can go on to traditionalmedicinals.com and have some of their products. But really you want to make sure you've got some ionized calcium, citrate or lactate. Again, I prefer the standard process line. You want to have some food-based vitamin C. I like having echinacea on hand. And then as far as plants goes, lemon balm's great. I'd have a comfrey plant around for when things get bloody or really dry. Then you've got a great thing there. Marshmallow roots also helpful for that sort of thing. Slippery elm could be helpful. There's other mucilage out there. You can boil flax seeds in water to get some slime down that way, and seaweed or boiling kombu in some water is another great option. Along those lines, just to keep the mucous membranes nourished. If you see blood coming out in any orifice, nose, mouth, or in the stool. As we work our way up the age scale, the things they have on hand for adults and older children, then I'm a big fan of echinacea, and you want to start dumping that in like a lot. Like if you have a nice high quality tincture, 3 to 5 dropperfuls every half hour, you can really go heavy on it. And as soon as the first signs, if you get it within the first 6 to 8 hours, you might not have a full-blown illness. But you got to catch it at those first signs, because once it gets going for more than 6 to 12 hours, I was taught, typically it's going to run its course. So in the standard process line, since I'm focusing on them primarily, I love their product called Congiplex, and they have a product called Andrographis Complex. I have lots of people that really swear by that, and then they have an echinacea tablet and liquid. What I love about Andrographis Complex is that it's famous Chinese herb Andrographis, echinacea, and tulsi or holy basil. So you could have a holy basil plant growing, and you could have echinacea in your garden. I don't know if Andrographis grows in our temperate climate here in Central California, but So it's at least worth it working up if you just want to be like an herbal person. Elderflower is another plant that really is underrated. Honeysuckle is another underrated antimicrobial. Linden flower, the linden tree, is great along those lines also. Garlic and ginger can be very helpful to have around. So these are things to have around. As far as tea bags, Traditional Medicinals is a great company. Again, they've got an echinacea product, they've got a cold care product. I would have a little bit of each. They have some stomach stuff for flus, but have this stuff on hand and have it from a quality brand. Um, I don't want to bash Yogi Tea, but I found that their products, just some of them are all right, but they're not just really giving us the higher quality clinical stuff that I want as a clinical nutritionist and health coach. But the two I have on hand is always Conjuplex and Andrographis. So Conjuplex is a combination product of has some vitamin A and C in it. From food, it has a thymus extract. It has ribonucleic acid to clean up the debris, like dead cellular waste hanging around the cells, and then it also has calcium lactate in it. Good combination product to take with Andrographis. Um, and then if you want to see me in person, but you want to dose high and regularly every hour, literally every half hour. You just can't get enough of this stuff. Allergy attacks is another one worth looking at. Um, there's some great products there. I make a product called Happy Histamine that's high in quercetin and lowering reactivity levels and soothing the mucous membranes. In that, I offer ginkgo, yerba santa leaf in an extract form, garlic and onion. Feverfew could be added to that, and what was my other one? Oh, evening primrose leaf is very high in quercetin also. So you could buy a lot of these herbs or grow them yourself. Evening primrose is easy to grow. You can buy garlic and onions. Yerba santa leaf, I don't even know where that's sold, but it grows in the mountains here in Central California. Pretty easy to find, pretty much like a weed up in the mountains here. Ginkgo is pretty easy to get an extract of that. That grows all around our area. It's a lot of towns that have this ancient plant. And feverfew is a form of chrysanthemum. So feverfew is also a cute little white bush. It'll grow like a weed in your garden, quite easy to grow. And then a couple other soothing weeds that would apply for allergies are your stinging nettles, a raw extract, and self-heal and plantain are worth looking at also for allergies. And then again, my product is called Happy Histamine, and it makes the histamine sufferer very happy. And there's two other products from Standard Process that I really like for this, and one's called Entronex. Another one's called Allerplex, as an allergy, Allerplex. And you dose those during an allergy attack, 3 of Allerplex every hour with the drippy nose and itchy eyes and sneezing and all that, where there's just really a lot of irritation up in here. And you take 1 Entronex every hour, and you want to get yourself acidified also, so you might want to do some couple teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and a little shot glass of water every hour. Get yourself acidified, because if you're an allergy sufferer and having an acute attack, you want to acidify yourself a bit. And another way you can do that is with a Standard Process product if you don't want to take apple cider vinegar, called CalAmo, C-A-L-A-M-O. So another contingency plan. My last contingency for today, we'll go over injuries. I love the really strong Arnica homeopathics for internal use. I love the Arnica topically. There's a Chinese liniment called Dit Dat Jiao, D-A-T-G-J-I-A-O, Dit Dat Jiao. Great old liniment. Dragon's blood extract can be helpful when there's a cut, and it'll seal it up. Propolis can be helpful, very, very helpful, especially propolis and honey. For broken bones and wounds, that more like broken bones, strained ligaments, tendons, comfrey is very helpful as a plaster. If you have the fresh leaf growing, that's great. And you can do it internally for longer periods of time than what we're taught. I've done it for a long time myself. That includes broken, leaky gut. Comfrey is great for that too. I wouldn't do it singly, but I would mix it in with other herbs to keep it moving along, just kind of cloying and sticky. So injuries, and then there's an all-purpose liniment that Jethro Kloss made up many years ago. If you want to check that out, look up all-purpose liniment in his book Back to Eden. Jethro Kloss, K-L-O-S-S. And I make a variation of this liniment that I sell in my office. It's basically 4 parts myrrh, 2 parts golden seal, 1 part cayenne, and then I throw in some self-heal, some plantain, some calendula, and some other sort of more of the greener options there that kind of help with injuries. And this all-purpose liniment is a miracle for poison oak. I mean, I'm just telling you, it is a miracle for poison oak. Wipes it out. Probably the myrrh, the golden seal, and a little bit of cayenne just really help with that. And then these other herbs that I add in my adjunct tincture is great. So with injury, just make sure you get the dit dat jow on topically, get something on topically, the all-purpose liniment topically, get some arnica ointment with other herbs that are available in the health food stores, but have them on hand. And you know, if you want to buy a balm or an ointment, stick it in your freezer so it lasts longer. And the arnica should last for quite a while. But even if you have to renew your stock every year, it's worth having this stuff around. You have your injury liniment for colds and flus where the stomach's really upset. Then you want to have either charcoal or clay on hand. And I just use a product from Standard Process called Gastrex, along with Cholacol too, which is clay with a little cow bile mixed in with it. I find those very effective, especially when there's diarrhea. Um, so there's a lot that could be said there. So this is enough for today. We could do requests. We can do further exploration in this. So this is Craig Lane with Contingency Plans, video blog week 25, Health Alchemy, HealthAlkemy. You can have a contingency plan for everything, but be prepared ahead of time with stuff on hand. Don't be racing around when you need it, because as you well know, the medical people are going to drug you up and cut you up, and that may not be what you want to have done. And nor would I let them be doing x-rays on me unless it was life-threatening, and CAT scans and all that. We've got enough radiation in our environment. Watch the Free Radical blog of the previous 2 weeks, part 1 and 2, and you'll get what I'm talking about. We've got enough radiation in our body. Craig Lane signing out, week 25, rant over.